community producer. Questions and comments regarding this cable station may be received at the Wyoming Community Television Center by phoning 243-2432 or writing the Wyoming Community Television Center at 3333 South Division, Wyoming, Michigan 49508.
This rivalry goes back, well, I can remember back in the 40s, the old Grand Valley Conference. So this is a lot of years that these two teams have seen each other.
Well, it sure has, Ray, and the teams that are here tonight are a little bit different. East Grand Rapids over the last 10, 15 years has been a perennial strong team, and the last season dwindled off, and this year it doesn't look like they're as strong as they have been in the past. But when these two teams get together, it doesn't matter what their records are, they're going to have one heck of a football game.
Well, Wyoming Park probably not as good a record as they'd like to have had the last couple of years, but certainly a good football tradition here also under Jack Burdine as far as the coach at Wyoming Park, having a lot of years, good years, and so they're looking to win also. But of course,
ladies and gentlemen, under the field leadership of Drum Major Ryan Goey, please welcome the Wyoming Park High School marching band as they pay tribute to the Vikings by playing on Wyoming.
Well, it sure is, Ray, and you know, you talk about the Park, but the Park just lost by a squeaker last week to state-ranked Zeeland, so they're a good ball club.
Well, we're going to go down on the field. We pick up the Wyoming Park Marching Band, a full 118 strong. Very good group. They're playing right now the Wyoming Park Fight Song, and then we'll have the national anthem. So let's go down on the field and pick up the Wyoming Park Viking Marching Band.
Join in the singing of the national anthem of these proud United States of America. It will be conducted by the Director of Bands, Mr. James A. Ross.
rendition of the national anthem by the Wyoming Park Marching Band under the direction of Mr. James Ross. And Jim, next week we'll see Wyoming Park again as they travel to Rogers for the big battle for 28th Street, as we always
yeah, the war.
The war for 28th
The war for 28th Street, and I'm sure the 6 players that are injured, somehow some of them will miraculously recover for that, because that's a game, regardless of how beat up you are, you don't want to miss it if you can help it.
Well, that's the 2 teams that rub elbows all year long as summer sports and all through the high school season, and so there's a lot of people know each other. And 2 weeks from tonight, on October 4, we'll cover Kellogg'sville at Byron Center, and then October 11th, Zeeland at Rogers. October 18th, Calvin Christian at Godwin. October 25th, it'll either be Forest Hills at Rogers or Lowell here at Wyoming Park. We haven't decided on that one yet. And of course, the last night of the season could be either West Catholic at Wyoming Park or South Christian at Grand Rapids Christian. Wyoming Park won the toss, Jim, but they deferred to the second half, and so East Grand Rapids will receive tonight.
Well, Ray, you know, East Grand Rapids is 2-0, and last week they squeaked by Lowell 14-7 as Chad Brintel recovered a fumble in the end zone, and Mike McGillicuddy, he caught a 5-yard pass from quarterback Dan Cox that gave the Pioneers the 2 touchdowns needed. And they used to be a very potent offensive team, and over the last 2 years you've seen that offense sputter at times, and we watched them last year against Rogers, and when Rogers beat them. They're good, but they don't have that explosiveness and the tremendous amount of points that they used to put on the board to dominate as they totally did. So I think what we're really saying is they've come down in a little stature, and these other teams are catching up with them.
Well, both teams have coaches who have been around a long time. George Barcheski, 21 years at East Grand Rapids. He's the dean of area coaches, actually in his 22nd season with the Pioneers. And Jack Verdine, of course, after 2 years of coaching in Florida, returned to Wyoming Park, and Mr. Verdine is in his 28th season of coaching, and so both these gentlemen have a long-standing reputation and a very good one.
Well, they certainly do, and this ball game tonight is just going to be great. The officials are probably as pumped up being here, Ray, as the ball players are. East Grand Rapids is out on the field in their gold helmets and gold trunks and white jerseys, and they're waiting for the arrival of the Vikings, who have a tunnel already built out there to go through the Dominate East sign.
We want to mention early our appreciation to Dick Locke, the athletic director here at Wyoming Park, for the courtesies extended to us, and of course to head coach Jack Verdine for allowing us to come in here and telecast, tape this broadcast. We hope and we encourage you at all times to go out on Friday night to your local high school, see the activities at the football field. If you're just watching it on TV, you're missing out on an awful lot, because you're missing out on the excitement of being with the fans and seeing the cheerleaders and the bands. We're going to try and show as much of the bands as we can also. But it's a whole program. Like I said, there's 118 youngsters in the band alone here participating, and then you probably got, what, 30, 35 kids on the football team. So, and then along with the boosters and the cheerleaders and everything else, there's just a lot of people involved in this. And if you're not coming out and seeing high school sports, you're missing out on something. So we encourage you to attend the high school game in your area, and then on the way home, stop for a hamburger, cup of coffee, and then at 11:30, kick your feet up and turn to TV 23 and catch the game of the week. We'll be here each week with a game of interest to the citizens of Wyoming. We concentrate on schools in the city of Wyoming. As we mentioned, we have covered already South Christian and Rogers and Godwin and Byron Center. We'll cover Wyoming Park tonight and Wyoming and Rogers. We'll pick up Kellogg'sville before the season's over, and Calvin Christian. So we'll kind of get to all of them in our viewing area, and hopefully you enjoy the broadcast as much as we do bringing it to you.
Well, Ray, the Vikings, there's a couple numbers out there, so we better tell the fans that we don't have them, and one of them is number 88 and 77. But when you go down that Wyoming Park roster, there's some big boys out there. Number 79, Jason Miller, who plays guard on offense and tackle on defense, 290 pounds. There's a lot of 230s, 250s, some awfully big young men, and they ought to be able to open up some big holes for that running game, I would think.
And they're going to miss the, I know of 3 seniors that are out tonight. Chris Fox is a senior, 5'9", 170-pound running back on offense, defensive back. Randy Braun is a senior at 5'10", and a fullback. And Jerry DeHaven, a 6', 225-pound tackle, who has been one of the leading ball players on this team, is out. So those 3, along with a few others out with injuries, cause a little concern for the coaching staff for Wyoming Park tonight.
Well, Ray, number 88, one of the numbers we're looking for is a co-captain. So it looks like there's probably been a jersey change here somewhere.
Well, I would have thought it probably, no, I don't want to guess, but is that Jason Potter? Would be, it could be. 89 instead of 88 instead of 89, I wonder. Let me go, Jim, while you do the kickoff, let me go check that out.
All right, Ray, and whoever it is, I think he's going to do the kicking. So Wyoming Park decked out in their blue and white jerseys with white pants, blue helmets with white stripes, are just about ready to kick off. Number 88, and the belief it's Jason Potter, and it is. Ray's come back, and Jason Potter is the kicker, number 89. And Potter is placed it on the tee. And back in the receiving position for the East Grand Rapids team, number 14 is Hillary Larkin. And there's a boot, and it's going to be here to the right side. The up man gets it. Comes back to about the 25 and finally brought down there by number 51 for the Wyoming Park Vikings.
Well, Bill Meany took the kickoff, Jim, and brought it back, and Tom Bush made the tackle. And they're going to spot it right about the 30 or 25-yard line. Let's mark it to 25, just inches short of it. So East Grand Rapids will take first possession on their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
And the quarterback for the Pioneers is number 12, a senior, Matt Buchholz, or David Cox, number 12. And he hands it off to the up back, who gets about 5 yards before he's brought down, number 31, and that is Ken Seal.
And you're going to hear a lot from number 63, Brian Bainbridge. He's a key player in that defense. He made the tackle there, and as you saw, he calls the defensive signals. They're going to rely a lot on Brian tonight.
Hand split out to the right side. Cox takes it, hands it straight up the center again, and just about 4 yards by
number 45, Steve Boyer got the call for the Pioneers.
Number 45. Number 45 is Steve Boyer, a halfback. So it looks like they're going to be running a little bit of everybody tonight, Ray.
Well, we got another number in there in Wyoming Park we don't have. It's number 77 on our program.
Now they're out of a T formation here, a straight T. And straight. Now the looks like they stopped the
some infraction before the whistle blew. The flag was thrown. Defense offside, so that's going to be a first down for East Grand Rapids, as they're going to step off 5 yards against Wyoming Park up to the 39-yard line. So now it's going to be 1st and 10 there.
So 1st and 10 with 10:34 to go here in the first quarter. The first down of the game for the Pioneers. Out of the T formation again. There's a handoff to number 44, and number 44, Brian Boschler, is stopped. Looks like he got stopped just short of the line of scrimmage. So I'll tell you, Ray, they've had 4 different running backs.
The officials mark forward progress.
They can only have 30, right?
Brett Bowman is number 77 for Wyoming Park, Jim, that you don't have on your program.
Brett
Bowman.
And now the end split out here to the left side. 2 men in the backfield. And back goes Cox. Cox is looking, rolls out here to the left side. He's going to come around, and he is brought down by number 88, Jason Potter.
Good pressure by Tom Bush, number 51, and Jason Potter. And they sacked him for a little bit of a loss there. It's about 3rd and 14 now. And the ball rests on the 35-yard line.
And the Pioneers make a couple changes every play. They're running men in and out. So, Ray, this is a change. This is the first nice, cool football evening we've had. The first two we had, I think the heat eventually got to the ball players. There's a handoff to 44, and he just keeps coming up the center. Got about 10 yards before he's brought down just about the 45-yard line.
He is at the 45-yard line, Jim, and he's going to be about 4 yards short of the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 4 for East Grand Rapids. So decision early on here for George Parcheski.
Brian Boschler was that ball carrier.
He's bringing in Travis Booth, number 70, to do the kicking.
70, Travis Booth, back to the
and there's the boot. A nice kick, and end over end, and it bounces at the 25, and it's still down on the ground. Finally picked up by number 24, who squirts out to the left and gets about 5 yards before he is brought down. So number 24 for the...
Another one that we don't, they have an awful lot of number changes on this program from what is printed, Jim. And I usually check that before the game, but I didn't tonight. But seeing as there were so many injuries, I should have. But we'll get that for you. Anyway, Wyoming Park will take over now on their own, call it, well, 20-yard line. It's just short of it, but we'll call it that. It's probably about the 19.5. So 1st and 10 for Wyoming Park at their own 20-yard line.
First down at 10.
Well, the first one straight up the center for about a 3-yard gain by number 33, Tom Houghton, who's the main ball carrier for the Vikings.
Jim, the gentleman who ran that punt back was number 24, was J.J. McKenzie for Wyoming Park. So we'll try and keep that straight now.
Well, now Marty Malik goes in to play receiver. He's playing the wide receiver, so we've got the 2 quarterbacks in there. And there's a handoff straight up the center again to Houghton, and Houghton just rambles for the about 6.5, 7 yards, good for a first down. So Ray, they're using both quarterbacks, but one they're using as a split end.
Well, Buckholz is the cornerback, Malik the split end. And, we may see both of them take a snap before the night's over.
Well, we might have like we had last week, where they had 2 quarterbacks and they used a double reverse flea flicker and got a touchdown last week at Byron Center. And there's a handoff.
Fumble.
It looks like a fumble. You're right, Ray. And it is...
East Grand Rapids is going to have that one.
Did they give it to East, or is it still Wyoming Park ball?
Well, they didn't call timeout, so it must not be change of possession. They must have retained it.
Looked like he was waving to go East Grand Rapids, but it stays Wyoming Park's ball, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 7.
Officials must have ruled that he was down before he fumbled, Jim, and so they retained possession at their own 33-yard line.
Number 12, Buckholz, senior quarterback, hands it to the deep back, and he gets about 2 yards. J.J. McKenzie, number 24, the ball carrier.
Just up over the 35-yard line. So key down here, 3rd and 4 for Wyoming Park in their own territory.
Hey, it looks like a game of, looks like a fight. We're just feeling each other out, running it here, running it there, and it's been a fast first quarter. We're down to 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Some pretty good hitting down there on that line, I'll tell you. This pads are popping.
Number 12, Buckholz takes it, hands it straight up here to number 33, and it's good for a first down. Tom Houghton gets the first down.
So Wyoming Park now will get a a little better field position as they're at about they mark at the 42 now. First and 10. 5:45 to go in the first quarter. East Grand Rapids in the white at Wyoming Park.
And now the Vikings, Buckholtz under center, takes it, hands it to J.J. McKenzie. A flag flies as he's dropped just about the line of scrimmage.
Jim, a pretty tight formation that time. No split end out or no flanker. Two backs tight, and obvious running play. Gained about a yard or so. And we have a timeout here as the officials call illegal procedure on Wyoming Park.
Got that sun coming right in, or the light coming right in the window there, Ray, and hard to see right in front of us.
So they step off 5 yards for procedure, and now it's going to be 1st and 15 and puts the ball back on about the 36, 37 yard line. Well, maybe a passing situation here, Jim.
That'll be the first pass of the game. One was attempted by the Pioneers, and they were sacked attempting that. End split out to the left side, and there's the handoff to J.J. McKenzie. McKenzie gets about 2 yards of the 5 that they were penalized back, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 13.
Ball's on about the 38-yard line.
And now the Vikings in their huddle waiting for the play as they're running it in with one of the messenger boys.
Jeff Swanson carrying the play in on this one, and he flanks to the left.
So now there's 2 men in the backfield. Man split out to the left side. Back goes Buckholtz. He looks, he's going to throw, and then he decides to keep it, pulls it down, and runs it up for about a 3 or 4 yard gain before he's brought down just about the 43, 44 yard line.
And it's going to be 3rd and 10. He got back to the original line of scrimmage prior to the penalty. Picked up maybe about 2 or 3, as you say. Looked for a receiver on the left side. Couldn't find anybody open, and decided to tuck it in and run it up the field.
So it's 3rd and 9 with 3:51 to go here in the first quarter, coming to you from Wyoming Parks Field. Back goes Buckholtz. He looks, he throws, completed at the 45 where he's brought down.
Jeff Swanson, the receiver there, Jim, did the little hook pattern from the side. He had 2 receivers out on the left side. One went straight down and deep, the other one cut in. Swanson was somewhat open on the last play, but he couldn't get the ball to him. But this time he did, and good for a gain of 10 yards or a little bit better. And so it's going to be 1st and 10 on the, if I can look through that glaring glass now, the 45-yard line of East Grand Rapids.
That's why I stood up, trying to block it out. And there's a handoff straight up the center to number 33, Tom Houghton. And Houghton gets about 5 before he's brought down. I'll make it about 3.5.
Getting up off the bottom of that pile, number 70, Travis Booth.
Now down to the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. No score. Coming to you on TV 23, WCTC in Wyoming, your amateur sports channel for Western Michigan. And now split out here to the right side. Quarterback Buckholtz is under center, and there's a flag. It looks like the East Grand Rapids Pioneers went over the neutral zone, so it looks like it's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Well, that's a big penalty for Wyoming Park, because instead of 2nd and about 6, that's going to give them 2nd and 1.
And I'm sure you're going to see either McKenzie or Houghton take that ball in an attempt to get that first down. Buckholtz takes it, gives it to number 33, Houghton, and Houghton is still going. He's got about 5. It looks like he got about 7 yards all the way down to the 30, but there's a flag on the play.
And that was thrown by the umpire, Jim, right behind the line of scrimmage. So that generally would indicate holding, and it does, and it's offensive holding against Wyoming Park. So very costly penalty here as they had the first down marked down to the 30-yard line. And I'm sure that East Grand Rapids is going to let them walk this off for 10 yards and make it 2nd and 11 again.
Well, now it's going to bring up what you say, Ray, a possible passing down. So 2nd and about 6. They take it from the spot of the foul, which isn't so bad nowadays if you're beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yes. So that makes it 2nd 6 rather than 11, as I had called it.
So Buckhorst under center. Looks over the defense. Takes the snap. Gives it to number 33, and Houghton has got that first down. 1st and 10 Wyoming. Went right off tackle, Ray, and carried a couple of the Pioneers with him, but not before they could bring him down until he had that first down.
As you say, good drive by Tom Houghton as he kept those legs a-churning and picked up that extra 2 or 3 yards he needed after the original contact in order to get the first down. So Wyoming Park makes amends for that penalty, Jim. That's a big play after the 10-yard penalty for holding. They came back and played over it. Now they have 1st and 10. Mark it on the 33-yard line.
So Buckholz with a receiver out to the right side. 1st and 10. Takes it, gives it to Houghton. Houghton's got himself 5, just keeps churning. Finally brought down after a 5-yard gain. Mr. Houghton, Ray, last week carried the ball against state-ranked Zeeland 16 times for 53 yards as he was the workhorse for the Wyoming Park team last week, and he's starting picking up right where he left off in that Zeeland game.
The tackle there made by Travis Booth, Jim might remark there that Travis last year was all-area performer for the advance on the advance team, and he's a tremendous defensive player.
And again, Houghton's got the ball straight up the center, and he's just shy of the first down at just about the 24-yard line. So he's going to be about a yard and a half short. With 54 seconds here to go in the first quarter from Wyoming Park with no score in a ball game.
Pretty much on the ground all the way except for the one key pass play that got him the first down. At about midfield or just over. Otherwise, been pretty much running all the way.
Now receiver split out here to the right side. Buckholz takes it, gives it to J.J. McKenzie. McKenzie's got the first down as he's down to just about the 20-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
So with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter, they'll move the chains, and we'll probably have one more play before the end of the first period. With no score here yet tonight, as East Grand Rapids and Wyoming Park are duking it out, so to speak.
Just like feeling each other out to find out what they got, because it's just been either the right side, the left side, a couple passes, but very conservative. And McKenzie gets a cross buck up the center on a cross handoff, and he gets himself maybe 5 yards, 6 yards before he's brought down.
Well, he had a good hole at the line of scrimmage there, Jim, and he did a good job of hitting it and getting up for the first down. So at the end of the first quarter, there's no score here at Wyoming Park with East Grand Rapids. We'll pause for this message of importance.
You have the problem.
No more drinking.
Stop crying!
I promise it's the last time.
Get off my back!
You've tried everything. Nothing's worked, but there is hope. Get through to us at the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence, and we'll help you get through to them. Just as we've helped thousands of others. Just don't give up.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Well, Jim, our station manager, not only managing and directing, but he's also a statistician, informs us that in the first quarter, Wyoming Park had 5 first downs, and 4 of those were on third down conversions.
You know,
key plays.
I do have a feeling that he thinks he's going to take Kurt Bowles' job over at Rogers next week.
Well, he's going to get up here in the booth. That's what he was. He wants the big money up in the booth, don't you, Jim?
He had his opportunity last week, right?
We don't want to talk about Michigan State tonight. Second down and
or tomorrow
2
either.
or 3 on the 13-yard line.
Okay, Buckholz with a man split out to the left side. Takes it and hands it to number 33, Houghton. And he stopped, I think, for a short loss there at the line of scrimmage as the Pioneers just covered.